Hey guys, welcome back to BigK Crypto. Hope you're all doing good. Ethereum gold is the topic as usual. Okay, it is business as usual. And today's video is about how to accelerate ROI and how to accelerate your ROI quicker. You don't need referrals. You don't need a miracle. Okay, it is a simple strategy, and this is an Oracle strategy. Now, before we go into it, yes, some people might not agree on it. Some people prefer to, just keep hitting that reinvest, and that's absolutely fine, guys. You've got to remember, there's always more than one strategy and play when it comes to things like this. And it's what you feel comfortable with and what you prefer to deal with. Now, for me, in my opinion, I want to hit my ROI. I'm not saying that I'm not a long-term believer in this thing. I am. And I will be investing later on in the future. And I'm always going to stay in this because of my strategy. Okay, but I do want to see my ROI quicker, right? In my opinion, a good investor is someone who puts their money into something, can get their ROI back, and let that free money keep working for them. So if you want to learn about how this works step by step, stay tuned. Obviously, the usual disclaimer applies, guys. This is not financial advice. These are my own personal thoughts, opinions, and experiences. Anything you do is of your own responsibility. You're not a 5-year-old child anymore. Do your due diligence. Just a quick update, guys, as well. As I was just starting this video, we have now hit 14K. We are still flying, guys. In my opinion, we haven't even taken it off yet. This is just flying through. Now, if you have been following my journey and you've been following my videos, you'll notice that my figures have changed slightly. Okay, I've got less dividends down here, and I've got a much higher number up here. And I'm going to explain to you exactly why and exactly how I did this. So I think the best way to get this video started is just to show you so far the journey. Okay, just very briefly. So day one started with 5 ETH. Okay, day 3 I went in with another 5 ETH. So in total I was in 10 Ethereum at this point. By day 15, guys, just 2 weeks later, I was 100% in profit. You can see that I could have just taken my initial investment and then just let the rest run on its own and generate free money, create this perpetual money machine that I keep talking about, okay, and that everybody keeps talking about. Now, following the Oracle strategy, my idea at this point would have been to take off the 2.7 here, okay, add it to my total dividends, withdraw it, which would have sent approximately 10 Ethereum to my MetaMask, and there would have been 10 Ethereum's worth of tokens still remaining in this contract. Now, some of you may say at this point, yeah, but you're going to lose some of your tokens. Okay, fine. Remember, again, this is not a get rich quick scheme. Okay, this isn't about making $1 million tomorrow. Okay, this isn't dreamland. This is about staying in the game for as long as possible, and I want to stay in this for as long as possible. This smart contract has been around since 2018. There are people that have been in this since its inception, and they have grown their 1 Ethereum to 180. And that's just by constantly reinvesting. And that's just by believing in this smart contract. Okay. Now, if I had done that at this point, I would have taken my 10 ETH out, as I just mentioned. Or I might have just taken 5 ETH and reinvested the other 5 ETH and let this just keep churning out. And the reason why I'm mentioning this, guys, is just so you get a rough history as to where we are. But I decided I wanted to go in more, okay? So I put in another 10 Ethereum, as you can see. So my Ethereum's worth of gold tokens was taken up to 20, as you can see here. And of course, I still had my total dividends of this, and just waiting a couple of days, I would have made back my fees and just carry on with the same goal in mind. If we move on a few days later, day 19, I had around 37 ETH in this contract, okay? Bearing in mind, I only invested 20. So again, just from day 15 to day 19, it's just 4 days after I put in that extra 10 Ethereum, again, I was almost 100% in profit. You seeing how this is working, guys? You see where we're going with this? Look what I did next. I dropped another 15 Ethereum into this, guys, on day 19. This is to show you guys, where a lot of people are worried, and I can understand that. A lot of people are worried that it's too late. I'm too late into the game. The price is too high. No, first of all, you don't know if the price is too high yet because you don't know where this is topped. Okay, we're at around $4 now. This could take us all the way up to $20, $25. So no, you're not too late. It's not too high. Okay, but also the other point, as I mentioned in my last video, and I do recommend you watch it, which was the frequently asked questions, where I mentioned about how this works and how this is essentially like its own ecosystem. So whether this contract balance is going up or whether that contract balance is going down, you are never too late. As long as you're in this with the right frame of mind, which is you're staying in this for long term. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is my legacy that I'm leaving for my kids. So that was yesterday, guys. Okay, only yesterday. I was in 35 ETH and I was almost at doubling my return on investment, which I could have chosen to take out or taken half out and reinvest and whatnot. But I want you to see what comes next. And this is where the magic happens for me. Okay, how to accelerate that ROI. If you're looking to accelerate your ROI, I want you to see what I've done here. Okay, and this is following the Oracle strategy, guys. As you can see on my screen, I am now, if you look at my figures, I have 48 Ethereum or 48.7 Ethereum as gold tokens, and I have 0.265 as my dividends. And this is growing, okay? This is growing. So, you know, I put my progress up on the Discord, on Oracle's Discord, just because it's great to see everybody's progress and see how everybody is literally winning and slaying this thing, okay, and doing so well out of this, no matter whether they came in 2 weeks ago or whether they came in today. So after I saw this, we're talking to the Oracle, and I you know, put up my results. Obviously, if we look back at this, you know, I was almost there. I was almost at doubling my investment. But instead of waiting till this had got to doubling my investment, he literally talked me through the processes on not just how to get the ROI quicker, but to get myself an even bigger target now, and an even bigger core number, without spending a penny and without losing money as well. This is the beautiful thing about this. This is magical, all right? So he looked at this and said, right, sell 2.78 Ethereum's worth right now. Okay, so from here, I sold 2.78 Ethereum worth. And what that did is it made this number, 35.72, go down to about, I think it was about 32.9 Ethereum, something like that, and increased this number here to over 15 Ethereum. Okay, now bearing in mind, guys, still my total amount number stayed the same at this point. Nothing had changed. I was about 14 Ethereum at this point in profit. Now I could have just waited and waited and waited for me to get that ROI back. But what is the title of this video? How to accelerate ROI. Now this is where the genius came in. What I did when this number was approximately 15 ETH or so, okay, when it was over, it was actually about 16 ETH, I withdrew it. I withdrew that to my MetaMask. Now at that point, I could have done nothing. I could have just kept it in there and just added that to my pile of waiting for my ROI to come in. But I didn't. This is exactly what I was coached to do. I then bought back, and as you can see, I had actually inputted the number in here. I then bought back 15 Ethereum's worth of gold tokens. Okay, so that increased this number, which would basically increase my core number. Now remember, guys, my core number here was 35 Ethereum. Let's see how good your maths are in the chat when this premieres. What do you think my new core number was? 50 Ethereum. How cool is that, right? So where I was like thinking, oh, my core number is going to be 35 Ethereum and, you know, I'll be happy. No, I've pushed that limit up higher. Okay, my new core number is now 50. Just like Oracle's core number was 200, then 400, then 600. Mine's gone from 10 to 20 to 35, which I was quite happy with, to now 50. I didn't even think about this. The Oracle told me about this and took me through it step by step. I was just going to wait to get my 35, take it out, and be happy, and be chuffed with that. But now I've got a new goal, a new target in my sights. That core number now is 50 Ethereum. Yes, of course, the amount of Ethereum's worth of gold tokens I have was at that point 47, because of course you've got to take into account the fees, right? But you know what? Fuck the fees. Remember, this is a community project, guys. I'm not just sending fees to somebody's back pocket. These fees, any buying fees or any sellout fees that happen, go to the community, right? This is not a all about me kind of thing, right? And that's not how you should think about this. This is not a get me rich quick scheme. This is about the community and everybody benefiting. Why? Because the more people benefit, the more the contract cap will increase, the more your token value will be, okay? and the more divs everybody's going to get. It's like like I said, it's like that ecosystem that keeps going around. And the more traction, we're just going to keep pumping. You've got to remember, guys, we're at a really super point right now. Okay, forget that number where it says 13,000 contract market cap. We're now at 14K as I'm recording this video. We're at this super point of traction that's just growing. We're all here as a community. And when I bought those 15 Ethereum's worth of tokens, you're all very fucking welcome. All right. But, I don't care about that because I'm going to make that back in, a day or two. And I'm going to show you actually where my progress is now, right? Only about, 12 hours later. This is how this community succeeds. This is how the smart contract succeeds. And if the smart contract succeeds, we all succeed and we all ride this thing up. We've all got to be in this thing together. So basically, let's just have a look at where I am now. Okay, so these are all images. This is a live image, right? This is Ethereum and Gold live, okay, coming from sunny UK. All right, we are, as I said, 14,000 in the contract. I was at 47 ETH before, remember? Look at it, I'm at 48.7, I'm almost at 49. I've almost got back those fees that now everybody's also enjoying from dividends. Do you see how this thing grows, guys? Do you see how not only is this video, not only are these strategies great for you to get your ROI back and quicker, this is great for everybody in the community and for this thing to keep soaring higher and higher and higher. So the purpose of all of what I did and what I just talked you through wasn't solely only just about actually accelerating ROI. It was also getting myself a new core number, which I'm now going to accelerate to get ROI. And now over the next few days, and you're going to probably see it in the next future videos, once this number is over 50, of course I'm not going to do anything until this is over 50, which is my core number. Once this gets to, let's say, 51 or 52 ETH, I'm going to shave that off the top. And it's going to be shaving less tokens. Now you've got also, guys, just have a look at the previous photo for a second. Previous to this, I had 2,700 almost, okay, of gold tokens. I now have 3,400 gold tokens. I've now got a bigger share of the pie. Did it cost me anything? No. Okay, I paid some fees. Great. We've all benefited from that. And I'm going to benefit from that now because now my core number is 50, which I'm almost at, by the way. I'm going to then start shaving that off. I'm going to then have that in my total dividends. I'll wait for my dividends to match that number. And it's just going to keep growing and I can keep cycling this and repeating this. Obviously, as price changes happen and directions may change, maybe strategies may change, and we all have to be fluid when it comes to things like this and work with what we've got. But it's as simple as that, guys. I hope you followed that so far. I'm going to give you like a step-by-step now of what I'm going to be doing from this point on. Okay. I am going to wait until this number, as I said, is going to go to 50 Ethereum. Okay. I'm going to do nothing until then. Basically until I make those fees back by price appreciation. I'm not even going to worry about how many divs I've got. I'm not going to worry about anything until this number gets back to 50. That's my golden core number. Now, every time I'm going to be 1 or 2 Ethereum over this 50, I'm going to sell enough Ethereum's worth of gold tokens to move it down to my dividends, right? And that's going to bring this core number back to 50 again. So when I'm about, let's say, for example, 52 Ethereum, I'm going to take that to Ethereum. I'm going to sell those tokens worth and bring that down to this number so that my dividends are also going to start accelerating and accelerating quickly. I'm going to keep doing this and let my dividends sit and build. And I only need to do this for about 1 week. Okay. Beyond that, you start eroding your tokens, right? Thus your dividends. Remember, guys, this strategy keeps the contract moving and flying high. And this is what we all want to do. If you're following the strategy. Now, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you to follow this strategy. I'm giving you my own personal thoughts, opinions, and experiences. And they're bloody working, as you can see. My goal is to make my ROI fast and generate more dividends for all, right? For this community as a whole. And if we all do this, we all benefit. We're all going to grow exponentially with this contract. I was one of those that was in this last year. And okay, I only had about, I can't remember, I think it was about 5 or 7 Ethereum in there. But imagine if I'd left it and on the peaks, use this strategy. And then maybe when we started, going down a little bit, reinvest it. But like I always say, I never look back. Everything's always an experience. Everything's always your part of life that you want to learn from and you move forward. So that's where I'm at. Just to do a nice quick summary for you guys. Basically, I had 35 ETH into this contract. That's how much I invested in. That was my core number. I was well in profit. Okay, I think I can't remember what the number was now. It was like 14 or 15 ETH in profit, and I could have just kept to that strategy until I got there. But thanks to the help of the Oracle and the guidance, I've got to give the man that respect that is due, right, for this and for talking me through this. My core number, rather than waiting for my 35 ETH to double and then deciding to kind of increase that core number at that point, I've just done it now, and I've done it quicker. And by doing that quicker, by now having a larger core number at 50 Ethereum, which I never thought I'd do from the beginning of this. When I first went into this with 5 or 10 ETH, I never thought I was going to be at 50 ETH with this. I just thought whatever it brings me is going to be beautiful, happy days. My core number is now 50 Ethereum. And by having that 50 Ethereum's worth of tokens in here, my token amount has increased. I have 3,000, almost 3,400 gold tokens here, which means every dividend that I get now is going to be much larger, which means I'm going to be getting my ROI quicker as well. See how it all connects? It's like this huge spider diagram. I was going to draw one, but I thought, fuck it, that's going to confuse things. But everything's connected. Watch this video a couple of times, guys, if you need to. It is a simple strategy, but it's something that you might need to hear once or twice and see the examples that you've got in front of you. If you say, oh, why did you sell your tokens and blah, blah, blah. Remember, I'm selling into this pump, and as the price goes higher, I need to sell fewer and fewer and fewer tokens per ETH, all the while buying back in, getting more of a share, and having a newer core number and a higher core number. This is just an ecosystem. This thing is flying. This strategy is beyond fucking genius, in my opinion. Okay, again, everyone's entitled to their own opinions, and opinions are like arseholes. Everyone has one. But I'm loving this, and as you know, and as you've been seeing through all of my Ethereum Gold videos, you can follow my journey by doing that. Okay, and I'm going to be constantly updating you guys how that's happening. Remember, Oracle just fucking bought another 200 ETH yesterday. Okay, was it a day and a half ago? At what was the current all-time high? Right, look at him now, just one day later. Right, those numbers are amazing. Amazing, it's going to work. Whether you've got 200 ETH in or whether you've got 20 ETH, this thing works. Just take off the zero. If you've got 4 or 5 ETH, okay, I would suggest this is best to do when you have around 10 Ethereum, or let's say 7 to 10. Anything less than 7 Ethereum, I would suggest just keep reinvesting it. Keep growing your gold token amount so you can get a bigger share of the pie whenever you get dividends. And then from there you can decide what to do. All right. But if you've got a minimum of 10 or 20, this strategy works beautifully. As you can see through me kind of recapping my past history of Ethereum Gold, which has not even been 20 days. Day 3, I had 10 ETH in this thing. By day 15, I was 100% in profit. But I put in another 10 Ethereum into it just because I believed in this contract so much. From day 15 to day 19, I was almost at double my money again. But I put in another 15 Ethereum. Okay. And now from that 35 Ethereum, which was my core number, and I was already 15 Ethereum up and I was well on my way, I still want a bigger share of the pie. This thing is still growing. This thing is still blowing up. So I want more gold tokens. So I increased my core number to 50. How did I do that? I sold a proportionate amount of gold tokens to give myself a round figure, which was my total dividend. So it went from around, just rounding these off now, 13 Ethereum to 15 Ethereum. I withdrew those 15 Ethereum. Okay, you're welcome. I then proceeded to buy 15 Ethereum's worth of gold tokens. Again, you're welcome. And my token balance had increased by about 600 coins. Okay, which means I'm going to get a bigger share of the pie every time dividends come in. Which means, to the final point, I am throttling my ROI. I'm going to be getting my ROI far quicker than I was 2 days ago. And on top of that, with a higher core number, which I'm going to use as my base point. I hope this all makes sense, guys. Do watch this video again if you need to. I have tried explaining it the best I can, and it is quite simple. Really, it's a combination of different strategies. One is core compounding and core numbering, keeping to your core number. But again, guys, make sure you don't overdo that because you don't want to diminish your tokens too much. And at the same time, how to throttle your ROI by doing so, right? By withdrawing them, buying in more gold tokens, letting the community grow, because this is the growth, this is the thing that we all need to support, and we all need to help each other. Hence why you hear a lot of people saying, you know, my strategy is just reinvest, just reinvest, just reinvest all the time. Yes, you can do that. It all depends on your goals and what you want to get. Oh, lovely. Someone's putting 15 ETH just now. Right, you can't see that. I really need to get these settings on my desktop right. But the point is as this contract grows, guys, we grow with it. I'm not in this for 1 year. I'm not in this for 6 months. I'm going to be in this for a long time coming. So I hope you've all enjoyed that, guys. If you do have any questions, fire them below. I'll be happy to answer them. And in the meantime, hope you all have a fantastic week. I'll be updating you probably in the next day or two with how I'm getting on. And of course, my weekend roundup that I usually do Sunday night, early Monday morning, as a good overview of how everything's going for me with my financial freedom. So on that one, guys, have a great week, get that cheddar, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.